So these are just drafts, you guys, about what I kind of want to talk about when it comes to spirituality and also having spiritual awakenings. Before I had my first spiritual awakening, I was not very informative about spirituality and what you would have to kind of succumb to in order to be able to fully understand the power of the divine, and not like a initiation, but sort of like an eye opener or a strong, long haul of epiphany, but more so what they traditionally call in spirituality a spiritual awakening. And what a spiritual awakening is when you are ready to come to a certain point in your life because you've gained so many certain amounts of experiences that your soul is ready to fully reveal itself and get into alignment with its purpose. That's kind of like the best way I know how to describe it. I mean, it kind of can sound a little bit confusing to some people or even all over the place to some people, but once you have your spiritual awakening, it can make a lot of sense even after you have your spiritual awakening, because during that time it's extremely intense and you're going to be so super confused about what's going on, why this all these events keep happening back to back. And majority of the time the events that are happening back to back aren't pleasant. They feel like strong lessons, and it forces you to reflect and to reflect on the situations that brought you to that point. So before in a spiritual awakening, really typically what happens is you lose everything. I mean, something traumatic happens, the tower falls, and all of a sudden you're in a predicament in your life where you're having to face the truth. And a lot of the times the truth isn't pretty, right? Like a lot of the times we go through life um just with the best intention to get out of the circumstances that we're involved in. And then when it turns out to be the complete opposite, it's not a good feeling, right? It's sort of like taking the mask off of a situation to reveal its true honor and true truth. And usually that happens when you're ready to see the truth. And that's something that is kind of, I guess can be very debatable in some people's understanding, because you know some people really aren't ready to see the truth, and then they feel like sometimes when they do see the truth that they weren't prepared to see it. But no, you were prepared to see it. Your soul was prepared to see it, and it's in perfect alignment for you to know the truth, because now you can handle the truth. That's why I say to people, be very thankful when you find out the truth of someone, because then you don't live under this illusionment of that it's you, that you're the person who um has done something wrong, right? And I don't want to fall too much off topic and go and kind of rear too away from my purpose of talking about a spiritual awakening. But I think it's very important because before a spiritual awakening, a lot of times we let, especially as empaths, we let others project their feelings and emotions and experiences and traumas onto us, and we go through life wearing that trauma or emotion as if it's our own. And then when you have a spiritual awakening, a lot of things happen one after another that are very traumatic almost. It kind of throws you off balance for sure, and it gives you the opportunity to, or it kind of forces you to look at your life and to look at yourself and to look at your purpose and to look at others around you. And sometimes that's not always easy to do. And so what happens in a spiritual awakening is a part of you, the true essence of who you are, opens up, and it is ready to reveal itself. And during that time of revealing, um sometimes you walk alone because you then need to kind of fully understand who you are and where you're going, and that it's a certain aspect of you that you never knew was there, or you kind of sort of knew it was there, but you never had the time, or you never had the knowledge or to discover it. And your soul is ready to awaken. Your soul is ready to speak to you. Your soul and your spirit guides and the divine is ready to reveal itself. And you can also find that around you, you're no longer relating to your friendship groups. You're no longer relating to your family members who don't understand that period of time of darkness that you go through. um and everyone's time frame of a spiritual awakening is different, you know. I'm in my second time of having a spiritual awakening, and the first one happened for a very long time. And you know, once I found out I was having a spiritual awakening, I thought it was over, and it wasn't. It was still going on, and I just started to find myself and lots of information, and I even like collided with, you know, different areas of opportunities. Like I even started discovering like the spirit shops and started walking in there and started getting readings and stuff, and I had no idea why. And it's because my soul was ready, and my soul was ready to see the truth and to reveal itself to me so I can get on my path, so I can start pursuing what my soul is here to do. And so I know this is another short video, but I definitely want to talk more about spirituality, because, and especially spiritual awakenings, because when you're having a spiritual awakening, I also find that you do tend to do research because you're feeling a certain way. You're feeling these intense emotions. You're feeling this loneliness. You're feeling this depression. You're feeling these traumatic events or cycle of events that happen back to back to back to back that you have no control over. And you're also gaining a sense of purpose and a reflection of yourself that you didn't have before. And you're getting closer to you, and you're getting closer to the truth. And during that time, the community of people, you know, are usually online, because these are things that you can find that people are going through online. But in your day to day, there's not a lot of people to talk about spiritual awakenings. There's not a lot of people to talk about, you know, finally being open to a realm of life that you didn't even know, or you didn't have great insight that you belong to. This community of people that you belong to, that maybe you're a star seed, that maybe you're an empath, maybe you are part psychic, maybe you are psychic, maybe you know you have the spiritual gifts to be able to heal others. And when you start to have a spiritual awakening, and you go through these things to find your gifts and to align with your purpose, you know, there's always not a lot of people around you that you could talk to about that. And during that time, it's very difficult. And you know, I found myself even reaching out to different churches, and also, you know, different hotlines, just to kind of get things off of my chest, you know, and have people pray for me, because a lot of the times there weren't a community or family members or friends who I could talk to about this. They'd be like, "Oh, you're crazy," or you know, or you're thinking too deep into it, or "Oh, you're just going through a hard time," you know, when actuality you're going through a breakthrough. You're going through a transition, a change in your life that you'll never be the same after. And yeah, I just wanted to create, I really want to create a space where people can be able to talk to me about, you know, their spiritual awakenings while they're going through a spiritual awakening, because a lot of the times no one wants to feel that intense, and so it's hard for you to find people who are devoted to you or don't feel like you're a burden, because you're going through these back-to-back series of events, and that could be very intense to others who are maybe lighthearted, or doesn't really understand spirituality or your spiritual gifts. And I think that there should be a safe place, you know, the perfect escape here on my channel where people can contact me and we can talk about your spiritual awakening and, different aspects of yourself that you haven't been revealing, or, people really revealing to you who they truly are, and how that's going for you, and what can happen afterwards, after the tower falls, and then now you're at a state of calmness and peace, but you have greater insight and discovery on who you are. So yeah, that's the perfect escape. I'm signing out, and I hope to be able to talk to you guys a little bit more sooner. And it was a pleasure for me to record this video. I kind of recorded it on a whim too. Like I kind of like just like randomly recorded it because I've really been thinking about it and wanting to get that off my chest, because I know how hard it is that it could be for people to go through spiritual awakenings alone. And yeah, I'll definitely talk to you guys soon. Bye. Mwah.